Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I've got the Tissot Heritage Visodate here to share with you guys today. This is a model that I've wanted to check out for a long time. It's often said that this is the best Swiss dress watch that you can buy for the price point for around, $400 to $600 depending on which variation you go with. And it's often listed as an alternative to the Seiko Sarb, which for a long time was kind of the king of that price point when it came to value for money in an automatic dress watch, an in-house dress watch. So really excited to share the Visodate with you today. You'll notice that this is a brand new color. This is the beautiful inky sunburst blue. It's almost black in certain lights, and it is just gorgeous. This is a new release from Tissot, and it was lent into the channel by my good friend Rocky, who was the first person in the United States to pick up this variation. He sent it to me, and I'm really excited to share with you guys today. So let's begin by placing some dimensions here on the screen so you guys can see the size of this piece. It might sound large, it being just about 40 millimeters in diameter, but just how much dial there is, the dramatically domed crystal, how the case kind of tapers, it's all high polish. It lends itself to being a little bit smaller on wrist, in my opinion. So I'll give you a wrist shot. My wrists are 7.25 inches, and I really like the way it sits, the way it plays. I think it looks really sharp. Now you'll notice that there are a lot of reflections coming off of this crystal. This is a sapphire crystal, and there is no anti-reflective treatment. And so although it looks beautiful, you can get some really cool distortions from extreme angles. It's a little bit distracting, and it can make it difficult to easily or quickly gauge the time in some scenarios. So throughout the video, even here in the office and then outside where I do my wrist shots and my macro video, it might get a little distracting, the amount of reflections. That's really the only drawback in my opinion. I think this is a very powerful watch when it comes to value for money, when it comes to beauty and execution. The details are definitely here. So let's go in on a macro level. I'll show you the dial. I love the color here, how saturated it is. I love the widescreen day-date layout here that's framed. That looks really good. And the Dauphine style hands. And notice the seconds hand. It's got the traditional bent tip at the very end. I think that looks beautiful. My favorite feature of the dial is going to be the logo. You can see Tissot is using their retro logo. This is the style that they used from the 1930s through the 1950s. And personally, I think it looks a lot better than the more blocky contemporary style that they use today. Now, the watch is carrying the ETA 2836-2. You can see it through a sapphire exhibition case back here. It's a very nice movement. It's basically the 2824 that they modified to have the day complication. And then again, you'll see that right next to the date here on the right portion of the dial. Now, the movement has 25 joules, a 38-hour power reserve. It ticks at 4 hertz, so 8 times per second. That seconds hand starts and stops. There's a nice smooth sweep to it. And I love to see the 2836 here at this price point. I think that definitely adds the value punch, in addition to just the beauty and finesse that's displayed throughout the execution of this piece. It's a very nice pairing. Now the watch, in my opinion, it is a strap monster. Now I have it on the factory mesh, which you can see looks really sharp with all the high polish and that sapphire crystal. Notice the curved spring bars. I think that adds a nice little detail. But it also looks good on a number of different combinations. So here's the factory leather, just the black leather. And then if you wanted to play with some color to really help that blue pop, it also looks really sharp as well. So in the end, I'm just really impressed with the Visodate. I think it just adds a level of, how would you say it? It's just super dynamic on wrist. And I love the details. I love how versatile it is. And I really love that ETA movement. That is great to see for this price point. So in the end, I definitely think it's worth the money. Would I rather take this, or would I rather buy a Seiko Sarb for a similar price point? I think both are awesome options. If it was up to me, I think the Visodate just speaks to me a little bit more. I love that retro logo and design. I think they just nailed the classic elements. I like the 4 hertz sweep of the movement. So I would probably choose the Visodate if it was up to me. Although both I think are definitely great ones to consider, and probably the leaders at the price segments. So a big shout out to Rocky for lending this one in. It was just a joy and a treat to share with you guys here on the channel. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.